Alright, so when we tried to run this yesterday, the fuel nipple here on the tank, the fuel line was being rubbed against by the linkage here, and it pulled the fuel line off of the tank. So we're going to have to go in and pull that fuel linkage off, or that throttle linkage off, and move it so it doesn't rub against the fuel line anymore. Okay, so this linkage has 4 connections on it. It's got the bolt here on the carb throttle arm, come on out, there we go. It's got the other end that is on the lever in the panel, and I am laying these out in order across the front of the machine as I take them out. So I've got the stubby one from the carb up by the carb, and the long one from the throttle connector at the back end, and then these 2 that hold this bracket in. And remember that these are also drilled all the way into the water reservoir on the engine. Come on, pull out. There we go. That one still has sealant on the end of it from it being sealed into the side of the tank there. Alright, now this should then slip out. Oh, and that's a nut on the back side there. Okay. There. That's the route we'll take with it. Okay, so gotta remember to slip it up in through that way. And then it attaches here, and the nipple's right behind the flywheel there. So I need to bow this part out right here a little bit. So we're gonna just actually just very gently try to bend there, and then see the curve I put in there. Hopefully that will be enough to bring it out. And I'm gonna pull the fuel line off the other end here and check this. Oh yeah, there is a cut where it was rubbing, where that throttle linkage was rubbing on the tank end. So I'm going to rotate this fuel line, and then I'll be able to cut the other end when I get a chance. So there are forceps. And that is on there, and we'll just flip that up out of the way, and then we'll slip this back up in and get it That's not a better view there. Okay, let's turn this back that way. Okay, now, there we go. Have it rotated like that, and then alright. Get the forceps and grab the knuckle. There we go. Just a little bit to get past everything. And now the fuel line needs to go under this bracket. So we'll do that. And I'm going to keep the end up on the far end by the control area. So, okay, I think we'll try putting this back on and seeing if we can peer in there and look at whether we have clearance now. So, mount this bracket first, and I'm not going to tighten that bracket in until I get the other two ends in place. Both of the linkage ends you just have to tighten until they're holding, but they're not binding, because there's no, because they screw right into the linkage, so if you over tighten them they'll just bind. I guess I need to tighten those in before it will make sure that stop is loose. There we go. Okay, and now to look in at the fuel line. Okay, so with a small bend in that throttle linkage, you can see the fuel nipple in here with the fuel line on it. The fuel line goes down, and the throttle linkage doesn't rub on that fuel line anymore, so we are in good shape. Hopefully that means that it won't cut the fuel line like it did on the other end, and I'm going to be able to trim that little bit off of the existing fuel line and try this out.